We're potentially hours away from a government shutdown. Donald Trump scored a big legal victory, and a white Christmas isn't looking likely for most of us. That's some of what we'll get to on The 7 from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. It's Friday, December 20th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. Congress is running out of time to avert a federal government shutdown. Last night, the House rejected a new plan to fund the government. This version was supported by President-elect Donald Trump, but dozens of Republicans voted against it. The failure of the measure means that federal agencies are on course to shut down right after midnight. That would mean millions of federal and military employees could be hit with paycheck delays. And key agencies like the National Park Service and IRS would also be hampered. House Speaker Mike Johnson spoke to reporters after the vote last night and pointed his finger at Democrats.
It is, I think, really irresponsible for us to risk a shutdown over these issues on things that they have already agreed upon. I think you need to be asking them the questions about that.
Johnson said he'll come up with a solution to prevent a shutdown from happening, but he's struggling to find a way to satisfy House Republicans, Trump, and Trump's billionaire advisor Elon Musk. Whatever happens, it is sure to be a dramatic day and night on Capitol Hill. So keep checking the Post's homepage for the latest updates. Prosecutor Fani Willis has been disqualified from Trump's election case in Georgia. That's number 2. For months, Trump and his legal team have been trying to remove Willis from the prosecution of the criminal racketeering case related to the 2020 election. The effort centers on claims that she had an inappropriate relationship with an attorney she hired to lead the case. Yesterday, Trump succeeded. A Georgia appellate court overturned a judge's ruling that had allowed the Fulton County District Attorney to remain on the case. The decision could doom the high-profile prosecution. However, Willis is likely to appeal to the Georgia Supreme Court. And it wasn't a total victory for Trump. The court denied a motion from Trump and his co-defendants to dismiss the indictment entirely. At number 3, the United Healthcare CEO shooting suspect could face the death penalty. Yesterday, Luigi Mangione was extradited to New York City under very heavy security. The 26-year-old is accused of fatally shooting executive Brian Thompson on a sidewalk in the city earlier this month. And the legal peril facing Mangione expanded yesterday. He faces federal charges that include counts of murder and stalking. If he's convicted, the murder charge could carry the death penalty. But prosecutors have not said yet whether they intend to seek it in this case. Meanwhile, there was some remarkable new polling about Mangione this week. It showed what appears to be real and relatively widespread sympathy for the alleged killer, especially among young adults. A California man is suspected of plotting with the Wisconsin school shooter. That's number 4. Yesterday, authorities detained 20-year-old Alexander Pfaffendorf. They said it was on suspicion of plotting a mass shooting with the 15-year-old girl who carried out an attack on her school this week. FBI agents say they saw messages between Pfaffendorf and Natalie Rupnow. She fatally shot 2 people and injured 6 at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison on Monday. She died of a self-inflicted wound. In Wisconsin, a close-knit community is struggling to process its losses. On Wednesday, officials identified those killed in the school shooting as 14-year-old student Ruby Vergara and 42-year-old staffer Aaron West. Number 5. The FAA has temporarily banned drone flights in parts of New Jersey. In recent weeks, frequent reported sightings of drones have unsettled residents in New Jersey and sparked mass panic online. It's still a mystery as to what's behind these sightings. Officials say they could be drones operating lawfully, or maybe even planes, helicopters, and stars. While officials are still urging calm, they took some action yesterday. The FAA banned drone flights in 22 communities in New Jersey. The ban will run until January 17th. Amazon warehouse strikes threaten to disrupt holiday deliveries. That's number 6.
Ho, ho! Corporate greed has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
Workers at 7 Amazon delivery hubs went on strike yesterday in an effort to pressure the company for a labor agreement. The stoppage is not expected to halt Amazon's logistics empire, but it could delay packages in major cities like New York, Chicago, Atlanta, and San Francisco. Meanwhile, Starbucks baristas will walk out at stores in Los Angeles, Chicago, and Seattle this morning. The workers have accused the coffee giant of stalling union contract negotiations. The strikes could expand to hundreds of stores from coast to coast by Christmas Eve. And at number 7, a few parts of the U.S. could get snow on Christmas or Hanukkah. As the world warms, white Christmases are becoming more unusual, and it's looking like many of us will miss out again this year. Parts of the Northeast, Northern Plains, and Great Lakes might get some snow on December 25th, but much of the U.S. will be unseasonably warm. It wasn't always like this. In our newsletter today, you can find a tool that tells you how many white Christmases your town has had. For example, in Washington, D.C., 12% of Christmases have had snowfall or snow on the ground since 1940. The snowiest place is, unsurprisingly, Alaska. So take a look, and good luck with your last-minute holiday preparations this weekend. That's the show for this week. We have a correction to yesterday's podcast. When we were talking about the murder hornets, we referred to honeybees as native to the U.S., but they were actually imported from Europe in the 17th century. The assistant producer of The Seven is Taylor White. The staff writers are Jamie Ross and Hannah Jewell. John Taylor is our editor. Additional editing by yours truly, Christina Quinn. Copy editing by Melissa No and Thomas Haliba. Mixing and sound design is by Jim Briggs and Justin Garish. Our theme music is by Edith Mudge. Renita Jablonski is our director of audio. I'm Christina Quinn. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. We will meet you back here on Monday with Rennie Svirnovsky in the host chair.